Welcome back to Forest Firearms, everybody. I'm Ivan.
And I'm Thomas.
And today we're going to be doing a versus video. Take it away, Thomas.
All right, well, what we're going to do is kind of an old versus new. Got a Smith & Wesson Model 1917 from the First World War. And Ivan, yours is?
It's a 1911A1. Basically, it's a World War II style 1911.
Same era. Argentine contract, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, but it was still a Colt produced.
And then also just for the heck of it, because I think they're awesome, brought out a couple of my collectible knives, also both First World War issue. Got the bolo knife, often used by the Harlem Hellfighters. Really awesome knife. I just picked this up last week. And this guy I've had forever, World War I American trench knife. It's got the knuckle dusters. Just an awesome little thing that I like to keep on me every now and then. Yeah, so we want to just dive right into this, Ivan?
Yeah, pretty much. So we were kind of thinking about the difference between both of these pistols because World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and maybe even beyond, depending on who you're talking to. Both of these pistols served together in some aspect or another. Originally, the 1911 was made for the World War I American service pistol, but they wanted to supplement it because they didn't quite have enough 1911s with the 1917 style revolver.
And you had a lot of these coming out of both Smith & Wesson and Colt. So it wound up being one of the most used pistols by the American military in the First World War. But in the Second World War, 1911 kind of took over.
Yeah. And the big thing with that is there was a change in doctrine. The 1911 was a new semi-automatic handgun, and a lot of the guys liked the old revolver. That's what they'd been using for years and what they'd grown up on. So some people had a really hard time letting go of the revolver. But like I said, you'll even see in Vietnam pictures of the tunnel rats and those guys with the 1917 revolvers, because in close quarters and stuff, there is benefits to a revolver versus a semi-automatic.
However, and as you'll probably see in this course, there are definitely going to be benefits in the 1911's favor. Extra bullet in the magazine, way lighter trigger pull. This thing's triggers a monster, as I mentioned in the review video.
But the one thing that is good about a revolver versus the semi-auto is you will tend to not have almost any problems with the revolver, even though you have lower capacity, where you will tend to have a little more problems with the semi-auto, especially in 1911. One of my magazines that I have, I know is kind of finicky, but I didn't take it out of the loop because if I was issued this kit in any of the wars, sometimes you might have a kind of a bad magazine, and if you couldn't replace it, a lot of times the guys kept them.
And it's pretty hard to have a bad magazine for a gun that doesn't take magazines. So
yes, absolutely.
That's kind of where the revolver reigns, is lack of malfunction.
So during this course we kind of set up, we're going to be fighting up a goalie. We're going to have 3 hits on steel from each position, and we're going to be taking out 2 pop cans to kind of simulate someone moving up on us. I think it'll be a total of about 11 hits, so it's going to be a pretty quick course, but we have a little bit of a room for error in case we're missing.
And I've just got all my bullets in my shirt pocket here. Normally a guy would wear a pouch with these little 3-shot half moon clips. The gun takes 2 of them, just like so. They're nifty. It's a smart little thing for speed loading, but not as quick and easy as a magazine.
And I'm going to be running my real World War II USGI kit. It's a very similar kit between World War I, Korea, Vietnam, World War II. They had a very similar kit through all the wars for their 45s. So even though there might be some small differences in markings and different kinds of hangers, this is pretty much standard.
So we're gonna have me start this course with the
I'll have you
1917. So you guys have seen this guy, pops open on the side, just drop in 3 and 3, ready to go. So alrighty, we're just starting from here, and we're gonna be firing these one-shot, or one-handed rather, as they would have in either of those wars. That was the military doctrine, was you fire with your dominant hand and your dominant hand alone.
Okay.
So
when you're ready, you say go, Neil.
And go.
Hit it.
Okay, 56 seconds and 20.
Not as quick as I would have hoped, but that heavy trigger pull definitely makes it a little tougher than you would think. Heavy gun, you know.
I'm surprised that you didn't go to single action for that farther shot.
I should have done that. That would have been the smart thing to do. So something I need to work on. Like I said, I'm not as good with revolvers as I am with the semi-autos, but why don't we have Ivan set his course up here real quick. So still, this is a great gun. Can't knock this gun for what it is. Revolvers do not function the same way as semi-autos. Me and Ivan are both more than adequate with our semi-autos. We will see what the time difference is. If it's that much at all, it may be drastic. I'll have to go through and look for the rest of my my moon clips here after we finish this video for you guys. So, my thoughts, more or less, I could have done much better than that. As Ivan mentioned, single action would have benefited me, especially at the longer range. I missed a few times right off the bat. It's definitely a tough gun to just get used to, but what a cool piece of history. I mean, just look at this thing. Got all the proper markings. You got the US Army model stamps. Model of 1917. It's just a beautiful gun. United States property. It's pristine. I couldn't be much happier with it, but at the same time, I could be a lot happier with my time on that run. So let's see how Ivan does.
So one inherent benefit to a revolver versus how the men carried the 1911s in most of the wars, the majority of the men, is when you pull a revolver, you got your double action shot, you can just fire. With a semi-auto, how most guys carried it, they carried an empty chamber loaded magazine. So when he hits go, I'm gonna have to pull it out of my holster and I'm gonna rack it. So that might add a little time, but that makes some sense in my opinion. So you guys just tell me when you're ready.
All right. I am ready when you are, Ivan.
Okay, just when Neil says go.
Alrighty.
Go.
Half the time, 22.87. So, for speed, absolutely, you won.
Well, as you guys can see over here, I had this guy planted, and I did hit him. Sad for Thomas, he hit his more than he needed to.
Oh, that definitely would have knocked a few seconds off my time there.
So, I'm not surprised, but I'm a little bit surprised. I think if you would have went to single action on even some of the farther shots, you would have saved some time on your reloads.
Yeah.
But maybe we're gonna revisit this. Stuttering. Revisit this again. Maybe even a different setup of a course.
Yeah.
Because we did kind of start far away for the average combat pistol shooting, but there was instances in all the wars that
You are out of your rifle or submachine gun or whatever you happen to be carrying. All you got to rely on is your sidearm. So.
Yeah. Well, this is Forest Firearms with Ivan
And Thomas.
and we hope to see you next time.